Welcome back to the channel, people. KG is back. Match reaction time. Leeds United go joint top tonight with a 2-1 victory over Watford. Should have been easier, but you know what, people? They're not always going to be pretty. And it started off so gorgeous. I thought we was going to run up the score tonight, but then things happened and we come out with the victory. And that's the most important thing as we head into a toughish away game against Bristol City later on this week. But look, 3 points was the banker, but we're going to speak about some things tonight. But I'm happy with the 3 points. With the performance, not so much, but look, it is what it is. What's we saying here? Game of two halves. Why didn't we just continue to smash them in the first half? Some things changed in the first half for me, at least these Leeds. And also as well, as much as I would like it, I just don't think we're ever going to get that smashing. I don't think so. Even going 2-0 up after 7 minutes, you're thinking, okay, how much could this be? Especially with the goalkeeper, the way he was for them. Yeah, we just got sucked in and we kind of got relaxed a little. And then we allowed Watford back in the game. We was kind of sleepwalking for large portions of the game. But the only way I can spin that is that that's a good thing that we actually won the game rather than draw it or even worse, lose it. So there you are. Benny, that was going to be my point. When Largy went off, it changed. It changed everything. But look, we'll get into it in just a moment. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, of course, drop your comments below. And thank you to William Morrison for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciate William. And thank you to all my members of the channel. Big up to you all for that kind of support. And look, we went with an unchanged team today, which isn't much of a surprise. I think it was, a fairly safe bet that we would get that. And it was the right decision. In terms of all the personnel that played today. I only had one change, and that was that I would have put in Mateo Joseph in there, just to partner Joel Peru, just because of the way Watford play and their recent away form. I thought it would have been nice to have two up front, but we know we're not going to get that. But in terms of what some of the players did today, Ramazani was the one. And then once he went off, we kind of lost our shape. And I think it's fair to say, people, that Manor Solomon isn't quite match fit. And it showed today. It showed a lot today. And I like Manor Solomon in terms of the level that we're at and the kind of impact he can make. But, I mean, it was late on in the game, but he got the good old sub-on, sub-off treatment, which isn't a good thing. Sometimes you could take off anybody else, but he got that treatment today. And it wasn't once Largy went off and Manor came on, we kind of lost our shape a little bit. We kind of lost that vigor that we had because we was all over Watford. Let me just say this. We was all over Watford for, say, the first 10, 15 minutes. And who knows what the score could have been if Largy had stayed on and we kept that kind of rhythm that we had. But once he went off, we had to do a couple of adjustments. Manor coming on and he wasn't fully fit, as we could see. And it kind of just slowed everything down for us just that little bit. Yeah, it wasn't a good watch today. Yeah, there was some times tonight where I was like this. But not because it was like a completely boring game. It just felt like it was going to move into like a routine 2-0 victory, which is what I've been calling for. I want these like 2-0 wins when we just get in, get out, move on to the next game. But to be fair to Watford, they made a fight of it. You know what? And there was large portions. I know the possession will probably show that we had a lot of it, but they had some good possession tonight. They really did have some good possession, and their goal scorer today, Bar, was causing all kinds of trouble for us in midfield and in defense. So we'll be glad to see the back of him today. And I was glad when he got subbed off late on. But look, Watford made a fight of it. It wasn't enough. We come out with 3 points. And listen, let's talk about a few talking points. Ali, that was going to be one for me. Rothwell today, not good tonight. Not good tonight from Joe. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. You can't expect Joe Rothwell to perform week in, week out. He was literally coming here to be our substitute midfielder. So him coming in after like a couple years of on-off starts and in and out of football, not due to fitness, but for other reasons, he's not going to give you an 8 out of 10 every week. But listen, prior to tonight, the 2 performances that he had away at Sunderland and against Sheffield United at home were brilliant. Were absolutely brilliant. So look, it wasn't his night tonight, and I feel that he was a little bit disjointed. And that's where I look at Daniel Farke for me, because that's where he's probably reaffirming in his mind, this is why I need a defensive midfielder in there. And that will be Daniel Farke. Look, you can see he's trying the whole Rothwell Tanaka thing, but you can see with Farke, he would be much more comfortable with a more defensive type of midfielder there and allow another midfielder to probably roam on. Havard saying, I think James should have come on sooner. I want to say who I thought would have come on today in terms of a substitute, but I'll speak about that in just a minute. Ryan here saying performance levels will dip, and that's every player apart from Melier, which is every game. Listen, look, you know what? Even Melier, there was that camera save he made in the first half, cool, but for a goalkeeper of his ability, I thought he actually did well with the Tommins free kick in the second half. Very crowded in front of him, and we know that when there's players in front of him, he doesn't really have, good eyesight, good vision for the ball. But he did what he had to do on his near post, make the save, and it goes out for a corner. So listen, the bar's low. So there you go. Hey, fair enough. Uh, let's have a look. Yeah, Tanaka. Yeah. Listen, his partner Joe Ruffle. I was going to say about Tanaka. I thought Tanaka's game tailed off just a little after he got booked. I thought he was a little bit timid. I think he was just being a bit cautious with his play. But in the second half, probably if it wasn't for him, I think Watford go through a couple more times. Tanaka was really really good yet again today. So fair play to Hal. He's doing his business. He's doing what he needs to do. He even set us off on an attack with a lovely crossfield ball, which is what we've been calling for, just a little bit more variety with the passes, and that's what he did. But he did the defensive side today really, really well, even on the booking. So brilliant again from Tanaka. He kind of picked up the slack for the midfield too for me. Willie Nanto, absolute threat yet again in terms of just him showing up and drawing players into him, allowing other people to get into space. Thought he was really good yet again. Listen, he'll get on the score sheet again, Willie. It's just a matter of time. But he's doing so many things that are not getting, shown up on the scoreboard at this point in time. But he is being really, really good. Uh, Yeah, exactly. Leeds easily just confirming that Nanto should have stayed on. He was a threat all night. Not sure what's going on there. Nanto's coming off a little bit, but I think it's just because of the quick turnaround in games. We need him fit, and we'll need him fit starting against Bristol City on Saturday. Again, it's another early kickoff for us, so it's another non 3 o'clock Saturday game. I don't know when our next one is, but we will need Nanto fit and firing, and that's what we'll need from the start. We'll see about Ramazani though, because talking about how how the shape went off. Because there's no way for me, the way that he was balling, the way that we were playing, there's no way he would have come off just for no reason. Because he would have probably fancied getting another one, maybe 2 goals on that night. So hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully it's just like a bruise or something. I guess Danny Farker will confirm for us before the Bristol City game. But we need Ramazani at this point in time. He's been really really good for us in terms of his output. Look, that goal he scored. It's nice to be on the other end of a goalkeeping gaff, and we didn't just get one gaff tonight. We got 2. Absolutely awful from Backman. I didn't say it yesterday in my preview. I wish I did, but I don't rate that goalkeeper one bit. And that's just poor. Both of the goals were poor, and from a Watford point of view, terrible. And I do wonder, man, in football, it happens in other sports, especially in hockey as well. If a goalie gives up bad goals, they get taken out. But in football, no matter what, goalkeepers just stay in. I just don't understand it, man. Like, if your goalkeeper's giving up 2 soft ones like that, I shouldn't be seeing him in the second half. But look, that goes, on our side. We didn't test him nearly enough. Peru had a couple of weak shots. Speak about Peru in just a bit. We didn't test him as we should have in, the way that he should have been feeling, under the lights, under Ellen Road lights, already having a wobbly game. I think we should have tested him a little bit more. But listen, 2 goals. The second one, Bogle, once again, I want to speak about Bogle in just a second, but Bogle up to Nanto, just a basic cross into the box, people. That should have been gathered by the goalkeeper. He palms it out, and happy birthday to Brendan Aronson, who gets on the score sheet. So salute to you. I do worry about Brendan, though. I hope we're not going to run him into the ground. I'm not going to lie. I hope we don't run him into the ground. You know what I mean? But yeah, listen, Brendan Aronson once again today in spurts of the game, making himself available, pressing from the front. That's what you want from Brendan, and he got a goal to cap it off. Uh, Leeds lead saying Solomon had 2 chances to square the ball to Joseph, and it would have been game over. Not just him, man. Towards the end, Dan James, Joseph put it in his path, and James, instead of Joseph was free, it would have been 3-1, and then we would have actually gone top of the league. Because I think at this point in time, we are joint second, we are joint first, but we would have been top at that point because of the 2-goal swing. But yeah, he should have put it right back across the goal. Joseph would have literally had a tap in. It was that simple. Joseph's going mad, but look, these things happen. Look, we've come out with the win, so it's inconsequential at this time. But yeah, James should have done better. But we know with DJ, look, he did a lot of good things when he came on. In fact, so it's just that with DJ sometimes the final product isn't always going to be there. But look, it is what it is. Um, let's have a look here. Michael here saying Brendan probably doesn't know what continent he's on. Agree. He must be looked after. Yeah, we need to look after everybody. Also, as well with Jaden Bogle, I said before I want to speak about him. I feel like we're still not utilizing him enough on that right hand side. I think that so much of our play sometimes comes down the left, and he's taken up some really good positions, and maybe people aren't seeing it, but I see he gets his runs that he makes forward. He gets himself free, and we just don't look at him. We just don't look out for him. We don't use him enough. And then when he does actually get the ball, you saw today. I mean, it was more of a cross, but it turned into a shot that hit the post. And there was another one as well where he put over, but just no one was in there running in for it. Jalen Bogle, when he's attacking, is such a good asset, and I feel like we should utilize him just a little bit more. Yeah, exactly, Pops, exactly. One thing I want to say though, when Firpo got his booking, which now means Firpo will miss the Bristol City game. Obviously, he didn't fancy a trip down to Bristol. Who can blame him? But one thing I was thinking there straight away in my head was, okay, so when are we going to see Schmidt? When are we going to see Schmidt now? Because either either Byram or Schmidt are going to start the next game. And for me, Isaac Schmidt is a left back. That's where he's played most of his career. I know he's a bit of a Swiss Army knife where he can play all over the place. But I was thinking then, if the game is still, settled enough, when do we see Schmidt come on? And in the end, it was Byram that came on just for a few minutes. So I do wonder this weekend if we are even going to see Isaac Schmidt, because we need him to have match fitness. This was a perfect game now. We're knowing that we are going to have to start somebody else in defense for the first time, by the way, as well this season. For the first time, we're going to change that back four. It look like it's going to be Byram in that spot rather than Schmidt. We shall wait and see. Yeah, what's the Kelvin saying here? I was crying out for this. Bogle should have 6 or 7 assists this season. Yeah. SB saying Firpo seems to commit that same foul every game. Well, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying anything against Firpo. Listen, Firpo today, because of Ramazani's goal, got his 11th or is it 12th assist of the calendar year. He's not shown another assist anyway this season. But you know what you're going to get from him defensively, and he does get exposed even at this level. That's why I always this is why people don't like listening to me, but this is why I always temper people's expectations of, just as well as he's doing in this league and as steady as he's looked defensively, he's just not it. And he will always get taken out with silly little fouls like that. And it was a foul, it was cynical, it was a booking, and now he misses the next game. But look, those things are going to happen, people. We're going to lose players via bookings. It's just natural. You get yellow cards, they tut up, someone's going to go out. But it's going to be interesting to see who takes his spot against Bristol City. Yeah, Nige saying here, agree on Schmidt. I don't know who Schmidt is, Nige, but yes, Schmidt should have been brought on after Firpo had his booking. Yeah, not straight away, of course. Give it some time, but maybe 15 minutes. Wouldn't hurt. But look, we shall see. Max is saying here, Farker will choose Byram. Yep. Yeah. Jason here. Jason is an American. I remember you from before, Jason. You've been missing for a year. Fairs, you come back when Brendan's back. Fairs. Happens. It happens. 5 key passes. Yeah. He was good today. Brendan was good. I've got no issues with Brendan, no. Yeah, Leeds easily just saying about Firpo. Firpo's been brilliant all season, but he shows his defensive frailties. Yeah. And that's why I always say to people, man, when we do go back up, and yet again, I'm saying when people always. Yeah, if in the Premier League, it will be a long season for him. That's why I say let him go out a hero, man. Let him go out with this brilliant redemption arc. Let him go back to Betis, go back to Spain, and have people wonder. I bet you he could have done well in the Prem when, yeah, reality saying the wingers in the Prem would absolutely rip him apart. But look, he's done well for us this season, so I don't want to take that away from him. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Jack is making a good point here. I thought a lot of our players were poor in their 1v1 defending. Yeah, even for their goal, listen, Bar was good for them overall. I mean, in the first half, he took about 3 or 4 of our players in the center of the park. Ridiculous. But for their goal, what he eventually scored, took Pascal for a walk, which is unfortunate. And then even getting that rebound, that should have been clear. That was poor defending. Not even putting that on Melier. That was just poor defending all round. And he won that battle and got Watford back in the game very early on in the second half. But yeah, a lot of our players today lost their 1v1 battles, a lot of them all around the pitch. But look, people, it's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. Even though I expect us to win a majority of the games, they're not all going to be pretty. They're not. And this was a classic case of this tonight, big time. Um, let's have a look here. Darren here. Why can't we give a team a good hiding? Yeah, Darren. I mean, for me, I've already said it, and I would love to be proven wrong, and I think I will be proven wrong. Let me just say that. But I don't expect us to beat teams 4 or 5 nil at this level. I just don't expect it with the current manager that we have. I think it's just going to be a case of being professional, having a good basement, as he says, and getting the points and getting out. And you know what, people? I'm absolutely happy with that. I just want out of this absolutely stinking division. I want out of it. I'm tired of this division. Didn't want to be here last year. Don't want to be here this year. Cannot even think of being here next year. So yeah, listen, if we do give a team a beating, I can't wait to see it. But yeah, if it's going to be 2-1s, 3-0s at best, I'll take it. Trust me, I will. What's it Daniel here saying? Aronson runs around a plenty, but never seems to win possession back. Still unconvinced. Interesting, Daniel. And listen, that's a fair point if that's how you feel. I mean, listen, in terms of Aronson, he does run around a lot. He does, but he that's what facilitates sometimes our attacks and winning the ball back up high. Yeah, he may not get the ball in question, but he'll help move people around or make people make a pass that they don't particularly want to make, and it goes to a player on their team that is questionable, and then we can nip in and get the ball. He is very useful at that. But listen, if you're not convinced still, fair enough. But I think that he's proved his worth so far at this level. Would we like to see a couple more goals? Yes, of course. But that comes with working on his composure, which hopefully we'll do as the season goes on. It's still very early, people. Still very early. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Listen, Michael here, just to counter, not causing an argument. I promise I'm not being naughty. But Michael here saying the amount of second balls he picks up, pressures, mistakes he forces. I won't put the last bit, but yeah, exactly. There we are. There we are. Um, Mini Melvis. Okay, Mini Melvis. We could have give those young kids some game time because we will need them soon when suspensions come. Roden only one booking away from suspension. Yeah, Joe's on the tightrope as well. But look, it's sometimes though, Mini Elvis, it's about the game, and that is one thing I do agree with Daniel Farker. It's not just about chucking in kids or players who we want to see, give fresh legs. It's about the game. It's about the actual game. But yeah, I do agree with some points that we do need to make substitutions, just in case. And that was the perfect one for me today with the Furpo thing. See Schmidt today. I just wonder, does he fully trust Schmidt at this point in time? But the answer will be given to us on Saturday, big time. Uh you disappointed we didn't go top on goal difference? Freddie, if we go top today, it means nothing. It's great. It's a great booster, but all our rivals play tomorrow. Promotional rivals play tomorrow, so we'll probably be knocked off. But as long as we're staying in the doing what we're supposed to do early on in the season, because it's still very early. People keep on picking up the points, stay in the top two, eventually break away. Because even hearing tonight that if Watford beat us today, they would have only been 3 point. They would have been level on points is disgusting because we are much better than Watford. So we do need to go on a winning run, which we know we're more than capable of. Let me just see this here. What's Darren saying here? Peru went missing again today. Yeah, it wasn't Peru's finest hour today. Was not controlling the ball at all. And this is somebody I say has got very very technical skills and everything else like that. It eluded him today, and he got taken off instead of being partnered with Joseph. He got taken off instead, and it was the right call. Even that chance to help us go 3-1, just tame. I know it was on his weaker foot, but we've seen Joel Peru tuck him in with his right foot. He just put it straight at Backman down the middle. So yeah, it wasn't Peru's finest outing. Does it mean outing? Sorry, I should say. Does it mean he loses his place in the next game? I don't know. I don't know. I think Farker will go with him again. I think he's kind of earned that as well. But we shall see. It's going to be interesting for Saturday's game. Uh, And I mean, slow steady Steve saying last time we went top, we failed big time. I mean, that's irrelevant to be quite honest. It's quite basic as well, Steve. Just to say we went top, I mean, that's like saying, well, we was fourth this time last year. That means we're going to never get promoted because we were fourth this time last year. Doesn't mean anything, but I'm just saying it would be nice to see us top of the league. It'd be a nice little, brag for the day, but it doesn't make or break. We're joint top right now. Let's keep on that path. Let's keep it. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me just get the table up. Here we are. Here we are, people. See, if we didn't concede that goal, we would be top. But I think maybe because Sunderland have won one more game, maybe that's it. Because we've got the same goals scored, same goals against, same points. I think it's got to be down to wins, and we're obviously one win behind them. So yeah, they stay top by the virtue of that. But tomorrow night, people, Sunderland are away at Luton. I think Sunderland will win that, possibly. Burnley away at Hull City and Sheffield United away to Middlesbrough. So, all those teams are away from home. We shall see how they get on. It would be nice to finish the game week in the top two. I'll say that. If we can finish this game week in the game in the top two, that would be brilliant. And hey, listen, if Luton Town beat Sunderland tomorrow by a couple goals, we'll go top anyway. So it's all good. Well, if Burnley don't listen, you know what I'm trying to say here, people. Okay. Yeah, but Steve, that's a much better point. There you go, Steve. The table only matters in May. Absolutely, we've seen it already. We was top at points last year, and we went top, and then we kind of crumbled, didn't we? So yeah. It of course May is what we're focused on, but we need to keep picking up the points in order to get there. Matt here saying another win and keep the momentum going. Need largely not to be out for long. Manor lacking sharpness. Yeah. And listen, you saw some good things that Manor was doing today, but he just looks a little bit off the pace. But that's to be expected with him being out for so long and not being able to stay fit. But hopefully he gets back into the rhythm. Let's have a look here. I think that is it, people, in terms of the game. If there's anything major that comes out tomorrow, we'll come back with another stream, of course, and think about, hopefully we get some good news about Ramazani as well, because he will be critical and vital for us going forward. Let's have a look here. Yeah, that is it for tonight. Listen, people, Leeds win ugly tonight, 2-1 against Watford. A very, good fight back from Watford today, but in the end, was it enough? We go joint top today. Let's keep that momentum going against Bristol City this Saturday, and I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out.